Today, the skyline of downtown Singapore is evidence of a wealthy, stable country. 40 years ago, it was barely a country at all. Midday, the 9th of August, 1965. The Prime Minister of Singapore is about to announce his country's independence on live television. It ought to be a time of great celebration, but not in Singapore.
Singapore has broken away from the Malaysian Federation and become independent. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's Prime Minister, wept when he announced the split.
You know, every time we look back on this moment when we signed this agreement which severed Singapore from Malaysia, it will be a moment of anguish. All my life, you see, the whole of my adult life, right? I had believed in Malaysian merger and the unity of these two territories. You know, as a people connected by geography, economics, and ties of kinship, would you mind if we stop for a while?
To Lee Kuan Yew, independence came as a shock. Only 2 years before, he'd led Singapore out of the British Empire and into the federal state of Malaysia. Singaporeans thought their city-state was too small and vulnerable to be fully independent. But any hope of a bright future together collapsed as Malays and Chinese turned on each other. Malaysia's leader, Tunku Abdul Rahman, ejected Singapore from the Federation.
And so we decided that we must part company.
Why was independence seen as such a disaster? Why was Singapore so reluctant to assume the mantle of nationhood? The answers lie in the island's unique history. In the first half of the 20th century, it was convulsed by the trauma of a world war and the two great political forces of nationalism and communism. Its people, who had come to the island to make money, were drawn into a struggle for the island's future. This propelled Singapore on a journey to independence that no one expected, and few believed it would ever survive.
I am nobody's douche. I am not here to play somebody else's game. I have a few million people's lives to account for. And Singapore
will survive.
There will be no race riots in Singapore. Never. One Malay woman took her child's hand and waved it like that. And I waved back. And they know that what we say we mean. That this is an equal society. Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine. I've spent a whole lifetime building this. And as long as I'm in charge, nobody's going to knock it down. Even from my sick bed, even if you are going to lower me into the grave and I feel that something is going wrong, I'll get up.
東南亞國家之中，似乎只有新加坡從貪污絕緣。
如果要錢，不要參政。你一旦給人家收買，就賣出去你的命運，你的政治命運完了，你的前功盡去。
李光耀喺50年前加入政治嘅時候，已經決定自己要比水更清。1959年，當佢當上總理嘅時候，人民行動黨全體內閣一律以清一色白衫白褲示人，用意就係表示政治清廉。
他一點貪污他都沒有辦法容忍啊！你只要跟人家拿了一點東西啊，沒有向政府報告，你就完蛋了。腐敗是絕對不允許的，不允許存在的。這一點他能夠做得到，很不容易。所以我剛才說的這個全世界很少有的，而且很多人講，但是做不到。
貪污無非係為奢華嘅生活，而李光耀嘅生活就跟奢華拉唔上邊。好少人入過李光耀嘅屋，我哋要求拍攝，亦因保安理由被婉拒。但係根據李光耀嘅華語老師所講，李光耀過嘅物質生活好簡單。
他家裏布置非常的簡單樸素，比如說這個椅子吧，那已經很舊的了，那麼還在那個地方用，所以你看出來這個椅子一般人都不用的，可是他還繼續用，所以他那樣的一個生活布置，跟他做一個總理做一個資政，這中間相差太遠了。
李光耀嘅私生活亦非常檢點，從來都冇過醜聞。
他從來不去亂來，我記得他去參加泰國的亞細安的總理會，他們都要輕鬆一下嘛，就叫幾個女孩子給他，叫女孩子給他。他說哪裡這個我不是我要的，不能夠跟顧說我來了，都弄他跑下來。所以他是對這些私生活，他不讓人家抓到他的把柄，一點都不行。
權力令人腐化，尤其是當你擁有大權嘅時候，就更加容易以權謀私。李光耀位高權重，不少人自然要求佢幫忙。佢最痛愛嘅母親亦要求過，但係通通都冇情講。
My mother has asked favors from him. He has turned it down. You can see it. My mother is not asking favor for herself, for some poor friends. She has turned it. Go through the normal channels.
就算為咗公事，李光耀亦唔會隨便浪費國家資源。佢每次出國，一律不准包機，都只會坐現有航班。去外國訪問，連住酒店佢都想慳。
他要到雅加達，我說你跟我訂一個單房。我說你哪裡可以做一個總理住在單房？不可以，很省錢的。我跟你安排，我說我跟旅館的人說他是總理啊，給他一個 mini suite， 不過價錢還是單房的價。
李光耀太太同叔仔李金耀合夥一間律師樓，經常會同公營機構有生意來往。每當要入紙向政府申請， 李太就非常謹慎，盡量避嫌。
Mrs. Lee is in fact stricter than Mr. Lee. If she is making any application to the government for the client, she will not use her initials on the letterhead.
She doesn't want the government servants to see that this is a letter from her. She doesn't want to even give the civil servants a chance to play favoritism.
So if she takes favors, get business from people and do them favors, it will affect me. So she was very careful.
Because even without doing bad things, people say bad things about you. So we have to be careful.
He's been walking the corridors of power here in Washington for literally decades. Singapore's Minister Mentor Lee Kuan Yew still commands huge respect here from Democrats and Republicans alike, as evidenced by these video messages.
His work as Prime Minister and now as Minister Mentor have helped literally millions of people from Singapore and all across Southeast Asia to live better, more prosperous lives.
All of us who work with him have benefited from his wisdom, his insight, and dedication.
The Minister Mentor was given the Lifetime Achievement Award at the US ASEAN Business Council event in the presence of US foreign policy giants like Henry Kissinger.
He has become a seminal figure for all of us. As I said, I've known him for 40 years. I would say I've not learned as much from anybody as I have from Lee Kuan Yew.
There was a time when people said that Singapore won't make it, but we did. There was a time when trouble seemed too much for us to take, but we did. We have a vision for tomorrow. Just believe, just believe. We have a goal for Singapore. We can achieve, we can achieve. You and me will do our part. Stand together, heart to heart. We are gonna show the world what Singapore can be. We can achieve, we can achieve. There is something down the road that we can strive for. We are told no dreams too bold that we can try for. There's a spirit in the air, in the air. It's a feeling we all share. We're going to build a better life for you and me. We can achieve, we can achieve. Count on me, Singapore. Count on me to give my best and more. You and me will do our part. Stand together, heart to heart. We're gonna show the world what Singapore can be. We can achieve, we can achieve. Count on me, Singapore. Count on me, Singapore. Count on me to give my best and more. Together, Singapore.